Oh, everybody.
Hey, what's going on?
We back again, man.
Yo. Check this out, man. Listen, we got a dope topic for y'all today. You know what I'm saying? It might spark a couple feelings.
Oh, it will.
But listen, this is all within good opinion. Don't take this out on us, but y'all gonna love it.
Disclaimer, this is, Lord. It's a heavy topic because it involves history that is ours alone. And when you posed this to me, I was like, yeah, we need to do this, but we got to tread. This is like we walking on eggshells, as my man Aries Spears would say. We walking on eggshells right now.
Yeah, listen. None of us is racist.
Of course.
None of us is racist. I'm
We're
just
inclusive.
saying. We just love to speak on things.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, the topic for today is slavery a choice? What do you think?
Is slavery a choice? When you pose the question and I reach back into my theoretical, but my analytical mind, I would say no. Only because you would say, nah, like nobody will want to be a slave. That's just automatic thinking. Nobody wants to be a slave, right? But when I sat back and like you said, take your time. When I asked questions and stuff, I said, yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because you still, as a human being, as an individual on this earth, no matter what race, color, creed, you have a choice to say yes or no.
Right.
And the outcome, or not the circumstance, but the actual, what's it called?
Well, the circumstances can be if you choose to think like a slave. And we're not talking about physical.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people may think, and they say, oh, physical, back in the slave. No. We're dealing with some of the ancestry, our history, but we're dealing with the actual mindset.
So we're touching on the enslavement piece, just poking at it and picking out what we need to address the topic. Okay. That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
So now that you cleared that up, yeah, it is.
Yeah. I was speaking with one of my clients earlier today, and one of them got upset.
You asked a question?
I asked a question. Okay. Because, he was like, yo, so what are you going to discuss today? And I was like, yo, is slavery a choice? What do you think? He goes, no, slavery wasn't a choice.
He thought enslavement back in the day.
He was going back to,
20 years ago.
School, what they taught you.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, more or less, we're not talking about that because that we could have been talking till tomorrow.
Well, to get on that is the reason why it sparks that into somebody's back in, was it about 6-7 months ago, Kanye was on TV with the president.
Yeah.
And it said slavery was a choice, and it blew up on Twitter and on Facebook. And
but he's right.
It says
but he's right.
It says faded away, but I don't think he even did he explain what he meant by that? 'Cause I don't think he did.
You got to look at it like this, right? His publicists won't allow him
to explain
his opinion because he can lose money.
Okay.
I mean, across the board. So that's what I was basically waiting on. But when I didn't see that or hear that, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I get what he's saying. Yeah. Yes, slavery was a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're dealing with the physical aspect of when we came over to this, when they brought us to this country, right? And they enslaved us physically.
Yeah.
But even back then, it was still a choice because you don't know who is in enslaving you. You got a choice whether you gonna fight
or you gonna run or stay
or you gonna stay.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they didn't tell people what they were supposed to tell people because there were people that was fighting. There were people.
Explain that.
Well, I'm putting in my opinion, I'm not gonna let you enslave me, man. It's till the death, bro.
So you gonna fight your way out?
I'm fighting till the death. Now you have certain movie clips where they show that aspect of it. I forgot the name. Please don't quote me, but some people may know. Where they was jumping off the ship. Nah,
And
the hell with that.
And the old boy Michael B. Jordan off of Black Panther, he actually stated in the movie that same thing is I will jump from the ships before I let somebody enslave me.
Yeah.
And so,
but that's fear.
Yeah.
Fear would allow someone to say, you know what? I'm just gonna let that person enslave me, mentally or physically, because it's almost like you can be addicted to what someone tell you and fear the consequence, or you can live off your own consequence. Because at the end of the day, you brought in this world by yourself. God brought us in this world, and no man is master over us.
Yeah, you are 1 in 4 trillion. You had a 1 in 4 trillion chance of actually being on this earth. So you yourself are unique, in a sense. And hearing that kind of puts me in a state of mind that there is a lot of slavery that is so subtle now that we've just allowed ourselves to kind of just say, well, hey, that's it. And I'm an Aquarius by nature, and I'm born February 15th, so
he just want to put that out there for y'all.
So
not that we care.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I know y'all don't care, but the states that Aquariuses are, they go against the grain anyway by nature. So I was like, yeah, I pretty much do. And I've seen the ramifications. I've had a lot of ridicule, a lot of failure, and I've learned a lot. But I've also carved out my own path because I didn't know I would do this.
I mean, well, here's a good question for you. Have you ever been a form of a slave mentally?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, as a kid, as a child, with your parents, you allowed. I mean, we. Hold on, we're gonna have to back that up. But
explain. So you feel that your parents were enslaving you?
No, mentally.
Mentally?
In some aspects.
Well, how would that even be a form of slavery when they're trying to condition you?
Understand? Just listen. Okay. This is a perfect example. You know, I graduated from grad school, right? Okay. So I graduated from grad school. Before that, when I graduated undergrad, I had a job. I had 2 jobs lined up.
And not saying that this young man over here, he is very educated. Just want to
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm just saying. But I'm just saying. But go ahead.
Don't be fucking with me, man.
All right.
I had 2 jobs lined up, and the grad school was an option. I allowed what my parents told me. They said, hey, you know, that job will still be there when you finish. And I said, okay. Didn't really think about it. I just said, okay.
But did you know the difference?
I knew the difference.
So you had a choice.
I had a choice. I was an adult. I was 20 years old. Well, 22. Okay. So I'm still an adult. I can make my own decision. And they said, hey, they said, Doug, I'm so glad you did this. And I realized to this day I did it for them.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not like, oh my God, you know, I work at a job where they slave me to death. No. But small things can add up.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's what do you call this? A form of, you know, manipulation. You know what I'm saying? When a person consistently put in your mind that this is what you need to do. And if you're up under them and you're sitting there and you're like, well, I don't want to do that. But I fear there might be consequences if I don't.
Okay.
Because you could have, you feared that, okay, if you didn't listen to them the way they might.
They would be disappointed.
They would be disappointed, and then the whole social aspect of your how y'all communicate would be different.
Yeah.
I mean,
the look on your face.
I mean, I get what he's saying. You know, I get what he's saying, but at the end of the day,
So what do you like? Give me an example so I can move along with your frequency, because I'm not understanding. I'm not saying I'm understanding.
No, we're saying the same thing. Okay. Because, you know, in all actuality, at the end of the day, when you get to the root of what slavery is, it's when a person conditions someone else consistently and install fear in them to where that person okay, I'm going to listen to what that person tells me. I'm not going to listen to what I feel is right. I'm going to listen to what that person says is right.
A good example of that is religion. Religion is one of the biggest tools of enslavement in the world, period.
I mean, but honestly, at the end of the day, we really don't know, you know what I'm saying,
Dude.
what religion, you know what I'm saying, we're supposed to be going by, because at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to get cultural on us, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of cultures and religions were stolen and then rewritten.
True. And I think what I mean by that is I'm not denigrating any formal or really the big religions at all. It's to say that, like you said, it's a form of manipulation.
It's a form of manipulation.
Constantine created the idea of what we see as Christianity today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even in the Bible. You'll see the slave. The word slave is in the Bible, I believe, 17 times.
Mm-hmm.
And so those books have been rewritten for thousands of years. And so I think most of us that are in the church a lot, we get the church thing is where we stop. We don't really get the connection, the spiritual connection at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll say, hey, well, yeah, I go to church every Sunday. I'm a part of this ministry, that ministry, this ministry, that ministry. I do all this with the church. Do it with the pastor. You know, I'm a deacon, I'm a trustee, I'm a deaconess. That's all good. You provide for the community.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you're going to go home on Sunday afternoon, and Monday morning comes, you got to go to work. And what happens at work? Somebody tells you what to do for 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now with you, is that a little different? Because I mean, some people.
Well, okay, now.
Because you're an entrepreneur.
But that doesn't mean I'm still not a slave to society.
We all are.
Because
to a large extent.
Right, because it's almost like, okay, yeah, I own my own business.
Yeah.
I work my own hours, but at the end of the day, I still work for the people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work for myself. I work for the people. So if I don't work for the people, I don't get paid.
So even the wealthiest person in the world is still a slave to
Everyone in this life
Gotcha.
has been manipulated and is still being manipulated into slavery. Everybody. Police that's out there, they slaves themselves because they work a beat that they don't even like. Am I lying?
Oh, no, you know what?
You got the administration not trying to get there, but we still talking about slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Administration sent them to neighborhoods they don't even like.
Or they didn't grow up in.
Or they didn't grow up in. You know what I'm saying? So the economics is twisted.
Mm-hmm.
So now you talking to a guy who's sitting there, he's looking at me every day and I'm shining. Driving a nice car. Got a business. Chain swinging. I'm cheesing, showing my teeth all the time. And he looking at me in that car, eating his donuts. No offense, because I got police in my family.
Same here.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not being biased to anybody, but I'm just giving you a scenario that everyone knows. And he see a young man like me, because I am young.
In the face.
This motherfucker right here. But I'm saying but at the end of the day, he's like, yo, why he make more money than me and I'm sitting here on my ass? You know what? Let me pull his ass over. And that's when things start. Knowing I'm legit, but in my younger days, I would have lost my motherfucking mind. But, you know, being as though, you know, I have a different mindset, you know, I know how to condition myself when I'm actually in war. Because war don't have to be physically, it could be mentally and emotionally.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, he feels some type of way because it's like, damn, I'm in a war zone. I'm around people I'm not familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what they tell me, and I'm not getting enough money. Who knows what's going on in his household?
They're a slave to the mentality they've been trained. Or they're training.
You could be a slave to your job. You could be a slave to your wife. You could be a slave to your kids.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
you
so
touching real personal stuff right
But
now.
I'm just saying, can we sit here and say that slavery is a good thing or a bad thing? It's a way of life, bro.
I want to say that
I mean, listen, you can't sit here and say it's either or because it's in between.
It is. It's a very small gray area, and we're a slave to the dollar, and especially in this country. And a lot of us have not understood independent thinking the way it should have been. You and I are, like you told me in there, I'm one of the 1%. I'm a slave to my relationship, and it's a good thing because you know what?
Well, you're a slave to your own core values.
That's it.
You feel what I'm saying? And the reason why we say that is because jumping back in, and then I'm gonna try to jump out, is the fact that he's the type of individual, you know what I'm saying, that don't look at other women. He feels,
just
you do.
eye candy.
Of course, but we're talking about in a way that we all do. Other men do.
Right.
You know how one time when you sat there, you was like, damn, bro, don't you got a girl? I'm like, nigga, what is wrong with you, bro? This is a bro meeting.
I got you.
I feel like you gonna tell on me. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, to the point where my guy Douglas, he only has eyes for one person. And I respect that. Not saying I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I be looking. You feel what I'm saying? But he's the 1% because, you know, he truly loves his woman. Now, if you're a slave to how you feel about her, that's a good thing. You understand what I'm saying? So no one in here or out here in this world can sit there and say that there's no such thing as slavery, or slavery is a good thing, or it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Slavery is based on what society is, and if you live in society, you're gonna be a slave to that.
I got you.
I feel like a damn philosopher. I swear to God.
I mean, I don't have much to say because you pretty much covered it all, but
I ain't mean to, bro.
You covered it all, but there's pieces that I think a lot of people just don't understand is that
Levels.
Yeah, there's levels to it.
There's levels of slavery.
And because I'm gonna touch it real light, just real gentle. We are nowadays a slave to our emotions to the highest extent.
Absolutely, bro. That now I would say before you deal with your intellect, you deal with your emotion. And a lot of us, including myself, I'm not gonna sit here and profess I'm not, because I'm a slave to, worry. I worry a lot about my family members and a lot of my friends. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm trying to build myself out, which I keep telling myself, I got faith in God. I'm gonna always remind myself when a situation keeps coming up, I got faith in God. And I gotta believe that. So you hit it. You actually took that from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you shine right now because that one is dope. We are slaves to our emotions. That's why we can't get along with ourselves or anyone else.
And nor can we really get to the pinnacle of where we want to be or desire to be. Because I say want is a mentality of lack. I don't have that, so I want that.
Absolutely, bro.
I desire this because I know I have the mentality to get there. So what I mean by that is, and the reason why I hit that on the head, no need to brag, but I'm reading the book I just put down. It's called The Secret. And The Secret is based on the law of attraction. You attract likes attract likes, negative attract negative, positive attract positive, right? For lack of magnet. And then the chapter that I just finished reading, I read that, for example, a lot of us get up every day, we get out of the same bed, same 2 feet, we walk down to get our breakfast. And you know what? Most of us will say, man, fuck it. I don't need to go to work, man. It's Monday.
I always feel like that today, bro.
And my thing is, you can literally change that emotion because you're like, damn, I got to get up out of bed. I got to do all this before I hit the shop. And then when I get to the shop, I'm going to deal with X, Y, and Z. Why not change that emotion by just getting up? And as soon as you hit that first foot hits the floor, just say thank you. I can hit the floor. And as you're getting ready throughout the day, be grateful for whatever you have. You have 2 eyes to look at somebody's head and say, I can do this. You have a car that gets you from to and fro. You have a lady in your life that is supportive of you. Mm-hmm. You have a business that has been running for, I'm not sure how long. How long has it been running?
Physically, in this area, 2 years.
2 years. Okay, so you've been cutting hair for God knows how long now, right?
Don't even say because then people.
I don't want to age him. I don't want to age him.
I am a young man.
But he's been cutting hair for God knows how long. He has this ability. So he has, when it comes to the emotional part, it's like, if I can wake up and say I'm grateful enough that I have this skill, what does that do to the rest of your day? When you're like, I'm in this mode of gratitude, my emotions are high. You're not in this low point trying to get high. You're at the high point at the start of the day.
I think we get caught up. No, I believe
we've been trained.
I believe we get caught up because we're trained every day through what our family
negativity
say and what TV expose us to. You know, keeping up with certain things. So that's why we can't appreciate. So we are slave to what we see. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie. You know, I prayed last night. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a slave to this heavy emotion to the point where I felt as though, like, damn, man, shit is just not right. But when I start looking at my situation, I'm like, damn, I got a lot to be thankful for because, you know, I got my own business. A lot of times I don't feel that way because, you know, at the moment, my brother is not here at this moment. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? And that actually juvenated life in me. Mm-hmm. And it's like now I'm by myself, and then the little things that I do acquire, I'm like, damn, I gotta do this. So it's like, as a business person, I'm like, I want more, but I already have it.
Yeah.
So
you have to start in here first before it even comes to you.
Mm-hmm. I'm keeping it funky, bro. Like, yo, at the end of the day, I wasn't keeping it real, bro. Like, I'm still chasing, and then, you know, after last night epiphany, you know what I'm saying?
You don't have to, and I don't mean to interrupt you. The thing, I think, us, because we've been behind the 8 ball for so long, is that we feel like we do have to chase. I realize because for the past 5-6 years, I've been on this earth and I've been experiencing what I've been experiencing. Everything has come last minute for me. Like, very last minute. Like, as soon as shit hit the fan, couple of days, weeks, a month later, like, it comes. And I'm like, why am I worrying? Why am I getting to this point where I'm so anxious? And it always works out. My mind is, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I just know it is going to happen.
I mean, everybody has some different forms of worry or stress. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? We do allow, and it's natural. It's natural because it's like,
I don't think it's natural. Kids,
that's different. That's different. That's different because they can't develop their personality only through time.
No, wait. Understood. Babies understand from the womb what is great and what is good and what is bad. They know that touching something hot is painful, so that's not what they're gonna do. So
they go based on what they feel. They don't go by what they know.
They know they gotta eat, right? Their body knows they gotta eat.
Their body tells them, but they don't know why.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, now in that sense, with what you're saying, mm-hmm. you know, you still have to be conditioned. You understand what I'm saying? Babies, they don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? You touch that fire, they body. Oh. Mm-hmm. Now, if you snatch a parent away from that child, and that child has that feeling of being around that mother or that father for long periods of time, in time that baby will start to know. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So you can understand through time.
I got you. Understood.
I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about with. I think I do. I don't know. I lost myself for a second.
We're gonna learn as we develop this thing, man. But for the most part, I think because we're a slave to our emotions, especially the negatives. Mm-hmm. I mean, myself, I sat in that chair when you left. I said, man, I had a little hiccup with me. I said, man, I'm just grateful they sent the support ticket out. That something went wrong so I could fix it. Versus me saying something down the line happening legal that I can't really handle because I haven't had that happen before. So that alone puts me in a state of mind, okay, it's coming, it's quick, more than likely quicker than I can to get everything back running. Versus me like, shit, I gotta wait another week before they call me and all this bullshit. And I'm thinking to myself, it feels way better and I can focus on the podcast if I just say to myself and feel and believe that, hey, I'm just grateful enough I have this business. I have support behind me that's technical that says, hey, something's going on. We need to fix this before you go further. And a good piece of advice for people like yourself that worry a lot. And I use this and it does feel good. I say, and it's from the book, every day in every way I'm being prospered in all my interests. That tells your logical mind that whatever you have going on that's good is going to get bigger. It doesn't tell you the negative part. If you didn't hear me say every day and every way all the shit that's happening. No, every day and every way I'm being prospered in all my interests. You say that every time something bad happens or something, let's say bad happens, but you encounter something negative, and just say it throughout the day. What your subconscious will do is say, man, shit, nothing can touch me. No issues. That's why Donald Trump probably ain't got nothing to worry about. Because he still got a business, right? He's still making, no matter how he makes his money, he's still making money.
Yep.
He has support, no matter what. The wealthy have found a way that, not say they didn't teach it, but they found subtle ways to get ahead of people emotionally.
They know what is called a system.
Yeah.
They're the ones who developed the system. So, of course, their kids, grandkids, or whatever the case may be, is set up because that's how their system is set up for them to achieve. Now, if they go outside and jump off a bridge, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm encouraging that, but you know a lot of them do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they hang themselves because they've been a slave to abandonment.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, oh man, my mother and my father, they've been out making millions. I don't even know who the hell they are. I see them. They acknowledge me.
But they're not present.
But they're not present. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody, whatever race that you're in, you know what I'm saying? It's a good thing to go through slavery because God is what's actually bringing us through that mental, emotional state. You understand what I'm saying? So tapping back to what you were saying, you know, yeah, those reminders, of course, I'm going to sit there and just say, you know what? God is building me to become stronger to go through it. Now, if I don't believe that, I'm going to be stuck with that emotion. And I was stuck with that emotion for semi-years. I'm just not going to tell you how long. But the fact of the matter is, and I'm not saying I'm ashamed, but you know, this is TV, baby. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just going to give myself those friendly reminders and say, yo, God is bringing me through that. He wants me to go through that. He's testing me. Because I said I believe in him. So he says, okay, you saying you believe in me? I'm going to test you. I'm going to test your faith to see if you believe in me. I don't want to get spiritual on it because, you know, I'm going to shed a tear on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. For the most part, I follow the same line of my spiritual connection is that I have faith that everything's going to work out regardless of how it plays out in this very moment. And, for example, I mean, I have a job that I like to do. I get out and I see people, I love helping them out. But I got a business that can literally change my life in a year or two from now. And I was like, okay, he put me through all of this work, all this grinding for something for me to realize. Got me on my own podcast, got doing it with you, and I'm happy that I'm doing it. Do this every day or do this every couple of days. Kind of foreshadowing.
I'm not. Listen. I'm only laughing at him because of the fact that this TV stuff
Takes time.
No, not just that. It's exhausting, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So don't think that we over here we making it easy because man, there's a whole lot to it.
There's planning, a lot of planning, and a lot of emotional and physical investment in it.
But God, you know what? I sat down one day and I said to myself, right, because I was thinking about you, pause. You know, men think about each other. And
yeah, sure.
I'm just saying, like, when you gave me a brief story of your background and college and the things that your family wanted you to do, and you sat there and you was like, nah. Like, that's just not me. Like, I'm not a slave to that.
Yeah.
I want to do this. And you like, you know, I'm going to do my podcast. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? And you prayed on it. And then what happened, we was at a group meeting for brothers only. Shout out to those brothers over there. Like, I'm not gonna sit there. I'm not gonna sit there and hate on them, but you know they're on their own journey. God has whatever journey for them.
Remember, that is not, the group is not for you, right? But you want them to prosper, right?
Listen, I want them to prosper, but the group is not for me.
That's it.
I'm just a little bit more different than them.
I love my guys there, and I mean, how many times have you gone? Sorry for the interruption. How many times have you gone?
I think I've gone one more than enough.
I got you. We got, and you did point out in the group that there was a lot that was, we're doing a little bit too much dibbling and dabbling, and we're not really drilling down to the focus.
I mean, maybe I didn't see certain things on, you know what I'm saying, a lower aspect because of the fact that, you know, I'm not around all of them. You know, and they may have certain...
I was a part of the mastermind group before it even got started, so...
So, you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen, like...
Ain't shit happen.
Yeah.
Ain't shit happen.
Yeah.
Ain't shit happen.
Not yet.
I mean, damn. Remember, how long was the damn group for? But anyway, we're not talking about them.
Yeah.
Because I'll go on for days, bro.
I got you. But continue. You were talking about the story about...
Yeah, so you really believed more in doing the podcast. So what happened? Boom. You know, one day we had a group and you seen something in me. And you like, yo.
I always thought the fact that you was younger than everybody else.
Well, actually...
That was my first time.
Actually, I was younger at that moment than a lot of people in there. Maybe. Because there was a lot of older guys in there that looked like they was 50, 60 years old that were younger than me.
True.
I mean, I met a lot of them. Yeah. Believe me when I tell you. I was like, damn, they need exercise. But what I'm saying is that, and I'm not joking on people who, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, if you're going to live by the Spirit, you got to live by the Spirit in and out. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your mind or your temple at the end of the day. That's just the way it is, right? But you seen something in me and you gravitated towards that, and then we connected, and then you came to one of my events, and then boom, we had a conversation, and I was like, fuck that shit, bro. Hell yeah, I want to do a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it actually works itself in. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I got a lot of friends that don't believe in things that they don't see. I got a lot of haters. You know, my friends know I tell them to their face. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, you know, I'm disrespectful, but, you know, they're like, what you doing a podcast for? Like, yo, you ain't gonna make no money if you ain't making no money right off the rip. And I'm like,
that ain't the point.
It ain't the point. But they're slave to what they feel. Based on what they don't know.
They're
right?
slave to the lag of the
Right. So me, I'm like this. This is what you're missing because of the mindset and experiences that I've been through. Things take time, and I'm like, I'm going along with him because that's what he said he wanted to do. I believe in that. That can help me out in the long run. You feel what I'm saying? So we here.
I mean,
I ain't scared of nothing.
Even to piggyback off that, I didn't care that when I asked you about being a host or co-host, I was like, because we had so much fun in there. Even though the feed didn't have no audio to it, but there was some energy. I was like, I don't have anybody else that I can connect with that's here that has an energy with me, even though our minds are different.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah. And so when it came down to it, I said, I don't give a fuck if there's any subscribers. I'm just glad I put it out there and God was just handling his thing. So I don't necessarily, when I say pray on it, I just say, I'm just gonna keep on doing it.
If you put a seed in the ground, it depends on where you put it at.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't put a seed on concrete.
Or in hard soil.
You feel what I'm saying? So you got to know where to put that seed.
I think I might instinctually know how to do it. Not to brag, but just there's something about the energy within me and finding people to connect with, even though sometimes it might not manifest as quickly as we want it.
I mean, I'm learning that too. I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying?
Fast paced. It's a fast paced life.
A certain type of way. When I came down here, I was like, "What you mean? I gotta wait online for 3 hours?
We slow as hell.
Shit, man, this shit only take 2 minutes. God damn it! Let's stay out here. This fucking rain for all this time." But I slowly humbled myself because that's not how things work.
I mean, that's an asset for us down here. It's not saying it's an asset for people who understand the mindset is patience. And like I think I said, my grandfather said, "Doug, you're one of the most patient young persons I know." And I said, and I carry that as a badge of honor. Even though I may not make that million right now, or a year now, or 2 from now, which I know I will. I just got that thing about me. It's not, okay, when is it going to happen? I know why it's happening. I know what I'm using it for. I know who I'm going to impart, not just financially, but knowledge-based, heart-based, emotions on, so that they can manifest their dreams. Period. Now, granted, if somebody says, "Hey, it's ill-gotten," I hope you prosper the way you want to. Period. Because if you're going to be a slave to, "I don't have anything, I lack this, and I want that," you're going to have to be a slave to your comfort zone. That's the one thing I think I got down packed perfectly. Very little money. Now, I'll be honest. I'm operating on very little capital right now. Very little capital.
We talking about lint in his pockets type shit.
And I'm still out here.
But
Amazon started in the garage.
Yeah.
Little shit. And my thing is, if he can do it, I know I can do it. It's just, okay, just keep grinding it out, putting out stuff. And dude, I just saw my podcast stuff. It's been played over 100 times.
And I ain't a part of that shit, nigga?
Yes! You got the plays from our episode?
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying.
I'm fucking with y'all.
I think we got like 7 plays from the second.
I gotta look at that shit. Yeah. It's like hard for me to get time to do X, Y, Z. It's like, damn, I can't even take.
Well, my thing
take
is,
time to take
I'm glad somebody said, "Hey, I'm gonna listen to this for 30 minutes."
Right, and not just that. It's the fact that, putting forth that action that you're talking about, because it's almost like we all know a lot of people, and people are interested in the internet.
Yeah.
And if they know that you're doing it, some people, they're gonna sit there and they're gonna be like, you said you were part of what? Oh, a podcast? Oh, okay. And they're gonna check. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you wanna keep pushing that envelope. Hey, yo, come check me out. Check me out. Do this, do that. Look at my podcast. I want negativity. Give me positivity. Give me feedback. Let me know what you think about it. Because at the end of the day, those are views.
Exactly. And I'm in. Not everybody can see my face. HuntalityPodcast@gmail.com. Please send me feedback. I know I got a lot of gems and jewels to give people because I've learned a lot and I've read a lot, but I still need people's feedback so I can feed off of their energy.
We need to know. If we're doing something wrong, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, we starting up in his shop. I mean, in a year, I see us in a comfortable space, comfortable chairs, and we, got headphones on, Mike sitting up here just chilling.
I mean, damn, look at our backdrop. Shit. This is a dope podcast right here.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, no, I'm just
saying. I'm saying it's dope now. The level is going to increase, and I can't necessarily see it very clearly.
I see it.
But my thing is...
I see it.
My thing is I'm a slave to the process of wealth building, legacy building. This is going to be on the internet forever.
I mean, not everybody can sit there and say they did something. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's a business, you did it. Because if it doesn't happen and it didn't happen the way you wanted to, maybe it wasn't for you. You understand what I'm saying? So the point of us actually being here, right, and we're actually sitting here and allowing the viewers to sit and view us and comment and stuff like that, and also subscribe, that means we doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, we doing something, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
I actually get it now.
Yeah.
Because you're so excited when we get on the podcast, and I'm just thinking, what do I have to say to and I'm just like, this dude got way too much energy right now.
Bro, trust me.
And so now I understand why.
Got a lot.
So I understand. Well, back to the main point. if I'm gonna be a slave to something, I'm gonna be a slave to what makes me feel good,
Absolutely.
and then what also makes me grow. Period.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and thirdly, just a slave to my process and value. 4. Those are the biggest things. If it doesn't bring any value, don't want to be a part of it. If there's no process or there's a terrible process, don't want to be a part of it. If it's not growing me, get out of my face with it. And I'm not saying it's gotta grow my money because I know how to grow my money. It's a matter of me trying to get it down. But that's it.